This is a well that I believe was probably initially drilled in the 1960s or 70s. Most of what we're drilling here on the shelf is stuff that is under pressures. We need to re-stimulate it.
We're the largest shallow water jackup provider in the Gulf of Mexico. We have several thousand employees here in the Gulf of Mexico and in several countries around the world.
How have you guys been affected by the BP spill?
Well, we're afraid we're not going to be drilling soon. We've already had several rigs that have gone idle because the federal government is not issuing new drilling permits. We've heard rumblings and rumors of new drilling permits will be issued, but since April 20th, we haven't seen a single new drilling permit in the shallow waters.
How many people could that impact?
We're afraid that there's about 50 available jackup rigs that are in the Gulf of Mexico. We think that by mid-July, late July, all but one or two of those jackup rigs will not have permitted work to do, and we'll be sending these workers home.
If they do stop all the drilling in the Gulf and rigs start going down, people start losing their jobs. In our area, and you know, people makes pretty good money, it works out here. When those people lose their jobs, they're not spending money, so it just trickles down through the whole economic system of the area.
You guys feel like you should be able to be allowed to continue drilling before that deep water investigation is complete, correct?
Absolutely. We've been drilling these shallow water wells since the Truman administration, safely and without major incident. And as you've seen as you walked around the rig, our safety equipment is sitting on the rig itself. We don't need robotics, and we don't need to go down a mile to the seafloor to intervene with our safety equipment. The world knows what a blowout preventer is. Our blowout preventer is sitting right on the rig.
But there have been shallow water spills before. I mean, there was one in Santa Barbara, there was one in Mexico, there was one recently off the coast of Australia. So there have been accidents in shallow water. And also, if you notice, we're very close to the shore. So if there is an accident here, there's a greater chance of the oil actually making landfall, where it can do a lot of damage. How do you respond to that?
Well, we could respond to each of those incidents. And that's what we've been asking the administration to do, is let's look at the facts. And the facts are that the blowout in Mexico was on a floating rig. It was on a floating deep water rig. The blowout in Australia, there wasn't a blowout preventer that was triggered. In fact, there wasn't a blowout preventer on the well that ultimately was an issue. And if you look at the facts and reasoning, what that'll tell you is that we know how to drill shallow water wells. There's been over 46,000 shallow water drills in the Gulf of Mexico, 46,000. And we know how to do this safely. And what we've asked the administration is to look at the facts and make policy decisions based on facts.
You know, the way we work here, we might have to have change out a lot of equipment and stuff sooner or whatever, but, you know, we pretty well won't change the ways we work because we work safe now.
We do support the administration's imposition of new rules and safety requirements. We think they're a good idea, and we're already complying with those rules. But there is a lot of uncertainty. When is the rulemaking going to stop? When are the new requirements going to stop coming out? And that uncertainty makes rig owners look for work somewhere else. 5 months will really cause these rigs to leave. 3 months will really cause these rigs to leave. Rigs are going to leave, and we are going to start dismantling an industry.